introduction about myself. So I was a ex-school teacher, spent a lot of time in school, and I've been like a specialist marking PSLE paper, setting PSLE paper, and I truly enjoy doing math all my life, even till today. All right, so I do specialize in teaching the P6s, so does teacher Fabian as well. I'm a mother of three, 16, 13, and you together with me will understand. I also understand your pain. I have one more, 11-year-old youngest who will sit for PSLE next year. Now that you're here with us today means that you understand the importance of starting early and this consistency and the need that PSLE journey is not 3 months. 3 months before PSLE, change tuition teacher, find tuition teacher, or find help. You have to start like now, if not like earlier. Okay. All right. So being a teacher is not what I do, but I believe it's who I am. So that's what I believe in. Okay, Fabian, over to you. Introduce yourself.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm teacher Fabian. I have been teaching for more than 15 years. I have quite a number of students in BlueTree, but not as much as teacher Faith. Okay, so I mainly teach upper and I teach all levels. I teach all levels, and I really enjoy teaching as well. Well, some of you might know I used to fix helicopters. Yeah. Then after that, I changed my job to become a full-time teacher. So ever since then, I think I never look back. I enjoyed teaching very much. Yeah, thanks to the guidance of teacher Joe and teacher Faith as well. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So here it's not about comparing who has more students. I'm older than you, right? So I have more students, that's all, right? Yeah. So we won't tell them. Don't tell them.
1 year, not a big difference.
Don't tell them, but don't tell them. Okay, let's go on next one. Okay, so what's the soft technique about? You probably have heard a little bit of the soft technique we use. We use it in our daily lingo when we speak to our children, when we solve problem sums. We walk through them, okay, through SOLVE. So S stands for search for clues, all right, where we teach the pupils to read and write, or you read and then you draw. So you could be drawing models, or you could be actually writing statements, or sometimes it's just like a ratio statement. So what happens is very much like science and comprehension. When you read something, you start to annotate and write, and then you will be able to see how the clues pan out nicely in the workspace. And then how we obtain evidence is the next part, right? Is when we start to link up the info. There will be a relationship formed, like 4 units equals to 20, okay? And then 1 unit equals to 5. So if we can find 1 unit, it is really the key to unlock the mystery. It is always like that. Either we find one set of items, or 1 unit of items. And after which the next step is to ensure that you know whether they're looking for boys or girls or shaded or unshaded items, so that you can move off and solve it accurately. So basically, a lot of problem sums are solved using this approach. Step 1, step 2, step 3. After step 3, step 4 to finish up, or part A and part B, and that will become a 5-mark question. Okay, let's go on to the next slide. Okay, so you know that we do have a tic-tac-toe approach. It's very much similar to how it looks like on the ratio presentation. Why we have this table is because it helps the children organize their numbers. Yeah, some people have very, nice handwriting, right? So they get very anxious, and then whatever they fill up, they spill into the other column, or the other A is to B. A's information spill into B's column space, and then later they cannot find the answers. That's why the grids, right, help them to stay focused. With every answer is found within that slot. Okay, so we use it for various types of heuristics like start, change, end. All right, some students, school also call it before, change, after. Then there's quantity times value. All right, 2K scenario. Yeah, or a lot of fraction, ratio, percentage questions, and questions that require concepts like equal beginning, ending concepts, equal concepts. Using this approach will help. Now, this approach for primary fives will come in more handy after they have learned ratio. So the first half of P5, right, they use less of it. So after they start learning ratio, this will become more and more common, but it takes time to transit. By the time they reach P6, right, a lot of the problem sums are using this technique, okay? It's okay, you don't have to raise hand. You can just type your questions into the chat. Yeah, let's have the next slide, please. So these are all the topics. Parents, take a photo of this. Some of you are not first-time parents for, PSLE kids, so you are quite familiar. But those who are first-time entering into the PSLE year, all right, you will need to take note of this, that you can see in P5, there's quite a heavy chunk of topics being thrown, okay, there. And then P6 has less. Of course, it has to be less, right? Because you have to finish teaching everything by June. But then again, the question is, can you master everything by August? Prelim August, don't look at PSLE. The prelim is in August. So by July, you have to attain mastery and be ready to show the results in August. So we do teach a little bit faster in P6. That means we push up all these learning topics earlier so that they have time to gain mastery. We do the same for our primary 5 topics. So probably like 2 weeks back, they have already started their practice papers, right? BlueTree students, we have already started our practice papers, but in bite size. Paper 1 this week, next week paper 2, then alternate it again, all right? So we will prepare you for your SA2 exams. Let's try again, next one. And then take note of this, okay? First-time parents into PSLE year, take a picture of this. You can see that great weightage percentage on the first 3 topics that I've highlighted in yellow: numbers, measurement, ratio, percentage. Okay, data analysis is graph, statistics, and what's the average? Geometry will be angles and drawings and stuff. Algebra speed, you'll be more concerned next year. It's a small component of 5%. Thank you. Next one will be your most concern. You'll be very excited to see this. Okay, wait till 2023 is out. I'll add in one more column for that analysis. So this one is, well, as you can see, I've highlighted, right? These 3 things add up to close to 60% for the last 3 years. This is a trend. Okay, I don't think it will change very much. So it should hover between like 55% to 65%. It will not drop to less than 50%. Impossible. Okay. For geometry, parents, please take note. In P6, right, you can see that there's a 23 marks allocated in 2022, 23%. That is about approximately like 8 questions on angles. And why? This year, your child is going to learn all the properties of all the angles. And it's going to be a little challenge for students who are not good with their visual skills. So it will take a while to recognize and internalize and remember and apply. Okay, let's go. Next one. Yeah, important, must learn. Okay. All right. So with that, Teacher Fabian will show you how to do a angle question. Over to you.
Hello everyone. Can you all hear me? Loud and clear, right? Yeah. So if you are here, you're listening, can you just say hi in the chat, so at least I know you're here. The way I teach, right, is a bit different. I really like the students to wow, I see vertically opposite. Very good. It can be directly or vertically is the same. So I like to interact with the student. I mean, that's the whole purpose as a teacher, right? I really like to talk to my students, and I think the responses from you guys, right, really helps. Okay, all right. So can we start? So I'm going to do angles first. I know some of you, right, may have some issues with angles. So the thing is, right, we know all these rules are very important for angles, but the thing is that if you don't know the rules, right, it's actually very hard. Yeah, so that's why angles will become harder when you reach your P5 all the way to 6, right? Because there are rules that you need to know. Know the rules, right, is very hard. So the first thing you need to do is somebody mentioned the chat. Well done. Who is this? Let me see the name. Somebody mentioned this Yuan Ping, right? He mentioned that vertically opposite, which is correct. We also call it, in this case, right, we also call it X rule. So I like to call it like X rule, U rule, C rule, and all the different rules. So make it easier for students to understand. So in this case, right, you know that the X rule which means there is another 74 degrees, right? You all see that, right? Very good. Wow, so fast you'll get the answer already. Oh my gosh. All right. So then after that, also can. Then there's another rule. Okay, I see somebody give me another answer. Very interesting. Okay, there's another rule. It's called angle on a straight line. So on the angle on a straight line, everything is 180, right? So you just minus. Wow, I see all your answers. Thank you so much. Great job, everyone. Oh, Manfred. Yes, I know who you are. Okay, so there are many ways to get the answer. Either you take 180 minus 66 minus 74, which is both ways, either from the top or from the bottom. So both can. Not bad, huh? Okay, you have 40 degrees. Well done. Oh my gosh, I see all your answers. Great job, everyone. Okay, here comes the second question. This was mentioned by teacher Faith earlier. Okay, now let's read the question first. Very important, right? Remember the solve technique teacher Faith mentioned, must search for clues, right? So very importantly, right, everybody must read the question. So if you see the question, right, it says that the figure was formed during 1 cm cubes, right? What is the volume of the solid? So the most important sentence here, right, is the 1 cm cube, because 1 times 1 times 1 is 1, correct? Somebody put 11. So how many cubes do you think there are? Can you type inside the chat? This is very fun. Can you type in the chat? How many cubes do you think are there inside the figure? Oh, I see many answers. Oh, good answer. Very good. I see 9, I see 11, I see 12, I see I don't know. I see 13. Wow. Okay, very good. Wow. Oh, okay, very good. I see all your great answers. Okay, so first, right, what you need to do, right, I always teach my students, don't look at the picture or the shapes by itself. Separate it. Okay, everybody please listen. You separate it. How do you separate it? So you just draw 3 lines, okay, and try to imagine it on its different level. I like to call it the different level method. So you have different levels. So level 1, you have how many? Level 1, how many cubes do you see? Can you all put in the chat? How many see in level 1? Very good. You see 1 cube, right? Yeah, very good. I see all the answers. Keep it coming. Oh, good job. Okay, now, how about level 2? How many cubes do you see in level 2? Wow, very good. You see 4, right? See? You know, like I painstakingly draw all this out for you guys. See? Do you see 4? Then how about level 3? How many cubes do you see on level 3? Now, then what do you think will happen when you take 1 plus 4 plus 7? You can put your answers down, okay? This is very fun. What do you think will happen when you add them together? Wow, you see, everybody getting the answer now. Great job. I see all the same answers. I don't have a different plethora answers anymore. It's not all the same answer now. So you see, it's much easier if you separate it by level. You have 12. So because each cube is 1 times 1 times 1, which is 1 cm cube, right? So when you have 12 cubes, yes, exactly. So the volume, but don't forget the units. A lot of students, right, they get the answer correct, but they forget unit, so you minus half mark. See, not worth it, right? Okay, so remember the cm cube, okay? Now, let's move on to the next question. Now, this is interesting. After many years of teaching, right, I realized a lot of students actually don't know how to do this question, you know. It's not that they don't know how to do. It's because they don't understand what the question is saying. Okay, so let's read the question. What is the least number of cubes that need to be added to the cubes below to form a giant cube? Now, have you heard of this thing called cube numbers? Yeah, okay, very good, very good. Okay, you know 1 times 1 times 1 is 1, right? So what do you think is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2? Very good, I see 8. Okay, after 2, what is after 2? 3, right? So what do you think is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3? What do you think is 3? Very good. I see. Oh, I see so many people giving me the answer. Good job. Okay, so this is what you do. You have to imagine a giant cube that is made of cubes. So we have this thing called listing method. So in listing method, right, we call this cube numbers. Okay, so I repeat again, cube numbers. So we have square numbers, then we have cube numbers. In terms of cube numbers, right, the trick is to list out. Another word, right, the cube, the number of cubes that can form a cube is either 1, 8, 27. 26, you won't form a cube because there will be 1 cube missing at the corner or at the middle, at the side. So these are the number of cubes you need to form cubes of any size. You know a Rubik's Cube, right? Anybody can tell me a Rubik's Cube is made of how many cubes? You can type in the chat. A Rubik's Cube, the normal ones, don't tell me the very big ones, the normal ones Okay, how many? Exactly. Wow, good job. 27, right? See? See, it's 27 because each side is 3, what? So the Rubik's Cube, right, is consists of 27 cubes. So for this question, right, it's actually trying to ask you, you see from the previous one, you have 12 now. How many more do you need to reach 27? That is the trick. So the answer is just, you take, exactly, Manfred, good job. You just take 27 minus 12 lah. So this question is just asking you, how many more cubes do you need with the existing cubes that you have to form a giant or bigger cube? And it must be the next bigger one. Okay, the next bigger one. Do you understand? Good job so far. Any question, please start in the chat. Okay, if you don't understand, don't worry. Okay, can I see. Okay, I will not mention Manfred's name. Okay, Manfred. Wait, let's move on to the next question. All right. So some of you, no, you don't do 4 times 4 times 4 because they actually want the next biggest one. Because they said least number, ma. So if you go 4 by 4 times 4, right, you will go, you won't have the least number anymore. You have something bigger. So that's why the word least is very important. They're asking for the smallest possible to form the next cube. You see? So cannot 4 times 4 times 4. It must be 3 times 3 times 3. Okay, the next question. Okay, students are also quite weak in fraction question. Now, there is something I want everybody to note, or you can look at this question. Who can tell me, right, what is the most confusing part of this question? There is actually a word. That word, right, actually makes the question slightly harder. Do you spot it? Yes, exactly. Good job. It is the word none. Remaining, sorry, none. It's the word remaining. Now, this word remaining, right, may look normal, but actually, if you draw out the model, right, okay, this model that we draw, I call it the pull-down model. Okay, I call it the pull-down model. Now, it's not the denominator. Please take note, it's not the denominator because the denominator is different. It's not the denominator. It's another set already. So what happened is that the remaining 2, okay, you see 1/3, right? If you see 1/3, right, so the remaining is 2/3. So out of the 2/3, it was cut into 5 pieces. Units. You can, but in another way. Later I'll explain more. Over here, right, the reason why I did that is 1/3 of. So the T represents the total. So it's actually 1/3 of the total. The 2/5 at the bottom, you see, right, is 2/5 of the remainder. That's what I meant. Okay. The units, right, probably will encourage you to use the numerator only. Okay. So if you continue, right, you will see that the method I'm using is called working backwards. So after we work backwards, right, we look at the $94.50, which is given in the question, is actually the remaining 3 of the remainder. So we work backwards, we divide by 3 lah. So we found out that 1 unit of the remainder, which is the bottom fraction, for the bottom model that we have, then we go ahead and find what is 2 units. Okay, because the first question A asks for the ring. So the ring is 2 units of the remainder, ma. So we solve A already. Okay, good. Then after that, right, this is what you must do. You must times 5. Okay, why times 5? Because you're going to find 2/3 of the total. So you see, what we are doing here is not a fraction of a unit. It's not, don't get confused by the 2/3t. It is not a unit. 2/3t is the T represents total. The R represents remainder. It's 2 different things. Don't get confused really, okay? It's not a unit. The unit, right, you see on the right-hand side, is actually the numerator only. Only the numerator. Okay, Okay, so after we have gotten this, any question, please start in the chat. Okay, so, good job. So I see a lot of students already got the answer before I did. Okay, good. So after you get, I haven't finished yet. Okay, so after that, after you divide already, you multiply, you will get the answer, $236.25. Yeah. Good job. Yeah, see, I see. Wow, I see so many students getting an answer. Good job. Okay, good job, everyone. Yes, thank you so much. Now, if you don't understand, right, please type in the chat which part you don't understand. I will gladly try my best to explain. Okay, yes. 2 units is 31 times. Yeah, but we are not looking for 2 units. Take note, we are not looking for 2 units. Okay, the 2 units, right, we are looking. Yes, you're right. Yeah, it's just a small error. Yeah, thank you. I spot the error already. Okay, let me annotate. Yes, you are right. Yeah, there's an error here. This one should be 3150. But the answer is correct. Okay, the answer is still correct. 63 is still correct. So it's just a small error. Yeah, pardon, right? You're right. But the answer is still 63. So there's nothing wrong. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Okay, now let's spend 1 minute to read the question. There's anything different about this question compared to the previous one? Difference? Do you see a difference, everyone? Can you type in the chat? Do you see a difference between the two questions? No 50 cents. Correct. Besides that, anything else? Besides the no 50, the 94, right, become 94, 94.50 become $94. Any more difference? Yes, the word remainder is not there anymore. Now, do you know that because of this word remainder, the whole question literally changed, you know? Yeah, it's a different question now because of the word remainder. So now, right, yeah, exactly. Without the remainder, the whole question changed. In other words, the 2/5, right, you need to compare the 2/5 to the 1/3. In other words, you can literally add the two fractions together. Yes, you can add the two fractions together. So this question compared to the previous one, because of the word remainder, it is totally different. If you use this, this is what you were taught in primary 3, primary 4. So if you use this method, right, you will for the previous one, you will definitely get the wrong answer. So these are common mistakes that students always make because they didn't see the word remainder. So it really, you know, totally changed the question. So all you have to do for this question, because the 2/5 and the 1/3 refers to the same thing, which is her money, you just literally have to add together. So in other words, she spent 11 out of 15 of her money for a wallet and a ring. It's totally different now. So after that, you just have to find what she have left. And she's left with 4/15 of her money. And that 4 unit, right, is actually the $94. So when you divide, you will get $23.50. And then A, you're looking for the ring, right? The ring is actually 6 units. How did I get the 6 units? The 6 units, right, is actually from here. Okay? I don't know if you can see it. The 6 unit is actually from here. Yeah. So after I gotten that already, all you have to do is just to, yeah, correct. Okay, you just multiply by 6, you will get $141. Wow, not bad. The students here are very good. Okay. I'm very proud of you. All your answers are fantastic. Okay. Question? No question. I move on now. Okay, let's do B. How much did she have at first? Now, the previous one, right, we did many steps, correct? But this one, right, actually, can we just use the 1 unit and times 15? We can, right? Correct? You see? So it's totally different. So when you take the $23.50, which is the 1 unit, you times 15, right? Yeah, you will get $352.50. You see that? Thank you so much. You see? You see that? So from the start, what I have gone through for angles, right, will be the rules, all the special rules. Then the cubes, right, would be cube numbers. And then now fraction, right, is the word remainder. So the remainder actually changes the whole question. So with the word remainder, right, okay, normally if you will remainder, I tell my students, please do pull down model. Then for this one, right, you don't have to, because it's literally just adding the fraction. You see, it's totally different now. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, let's read. Okay, a bottle weighed this 2.05 kg when it was completely filled with orange juice. When half of the orange was poured out, orange juice was poured out, the bottle weighed 1.25 kg. What was the mass of the empty bottle? Now, can you type in the chat? What do you think makes up the weight 2.05 kg? What is the components, right, that's in the question that makes up the 2.05 kg? Is this only the orange juice? Or is there anything else besides orange juice? What do you think? Oh, very good. I see. Oh, you guys are very good. All students forget that the 2.05, right, actually consists of the weight of the bottle, right? So when you draw out the model, you'll see that the bottle plus the orange juice is 2.05. So you must remember, don't forget that the weight water is still there. Now, the second model, right, I cut the orange juice into half. So which means now the original set, right, has actually 2 units of orange juice. After I drink half of it, okay, I'm left with 1 unit of orange juice. Now, how did I get the 2 units? It's actually from the word half. Half, right, is actually 1/2. Okay, half is actually 1/2. So using the 2, right, see, I have 2 units. Then the half here is 1, right? Then it's 1 unit here. So the 1 represents 1 out of 2 units. So the 2 units being the total. So at first it has 2 units of orange juice, and at the end you have 1 unit of orange juice because 1 unit was drank. You understand? Okay? Yes, you're right. Then you minus. Now, who can tell me why do you think I actually minus them away? What's the purpose of doing that? Why? What do you think I minus? What do you think the 1 unit represents? Not exactly. What do you think that 1 unit represents? Anybody can tell me this 1 unit I found is referring to what? Oh, very good. Wow, oh my gosh, you guys are so clever. You are right. It is actually half of the orange juice only. You see? What have I done? I actually removed the bottle. Okay? This is called repeated identity. So what happens here is I have removed the weight of the bottle. It's gone. No more bottle already. So my this 1 unit, right, is actually half of the orange that I had at first. Only the orange, no bottle. What I do here is I get rid of the bottle. It's called repeated identity. So after that, I do substitution. I replace this 1 unit, right, with the 1 unit of orange juice here. Then I just minus, I get 0.25, and that is the answer, 0.25 kg. Good job, everyone. Wow, very good, you guys. Oh, I see somebody actually found for me the, yeah, correct. Oh, very good. Oh, I like all your answers. Oh, not bad. Yes, and the answer is 0.45 kg. Yeah, you understand? All right, let's move on to the next question. Okay, let's take a minute to read the question. Let's search for clues. What clues can you find here? Mr. Min and Mr. Yong, okay, receive a total of $1,026. After Mr. Min spent 6/7 of his money and Mr. Yong spent 3/4 of his money, Mr. Yong had 3 times as much as Mr. Min. Yeah, very good. I see somebody say 3 times as much. Wow, I like this. 3 times as much. Okay, so in other words, Mr. Yong have 3 units, right? Then Mr. Min have 1 unit, correct? But if you read the question, the fraction, but it's not the same one because both of them have different amount of money, right? How do you compare? How are you supposed to compare when you don't even know how much money that Mr. Min have or how much that Mr. Yong? You know their total, but their total is different. I mean, the amount of money each of them have is different. You only know their total, right? So are you supposed to take 1,026 divided by 3? Do you think that will do it? No, I don't think so, right? Because the money they have is totally not the same. So what do? Make them the same. Denominator the same. Are you sure it's denominator? Cannot. You cannot make the denominator the same. Cannot. The moment you do that, it's wrong already. Yeah. Okay, the trick here is to focus on one thing. The remainder. So who can tell me? After Mr. Min spent 6/7, right? What is the fraction that he have left? Mr. Min first. Mr. Min is 1/7, right? Then how about Mr. Yong? Very good. So Mr. Min is 1/7. Then Mr. Yong is 1/4, right? So this is what we do. Let's draw a model. Okay. So what we do, right, when we draw the model, okay, now this is what I did. Okay, I did ahead of time. So what actually happens here, right? I did this thing called equivalent fraction. So I expand out my 3/4 to 6/8, 9/12. Now, if you notice carefully, at first, right, this is the leftover money of Mr. Yong. Then at first, right, Mr. Min, sorry. Then Mr. Yong, right, actually have how many? He have actually 3 and then 1. Correct. So when I multiply it by 3, I became 9 and 12, correct? Because I want to make this part here 3. So if you notice, I will have 3, 1, and 3 and 1. So what I did is I multiply Mr. Yong by 3, but it's called equivalent fraction. I didn't take his amount times 3. I take the top numerator and denominator times 3. So I get 9 over 12. So now, right, the remainder of what Mr. Yong have, right, if you take 1 whole minus 9 over 12, you actually get 3 over 12. See, now, so what we are comparing here, this 3 unit, right? I don't know if you notice, it's actually the numerator of the leftover. It's the numerator of the leftover fraction. That's where the 3 unit comes from. Do you see that? You see? So this 3 unit here is actually the leftover fraction, the numerator that you are supposed to make. So once you do that, okay, after you have gotten it ready, you'll be able to, okay, after you've done it already, you'll be able to see that, let me clear everything. Okay, you'll be able to see that the total, what we have, right, the 12 unit plus the 7 unit is 19 unit. This 19 unit will be $1,026. Then after you go and find 1 unit, which is $1,026 divided by 19, you get 54. But is this the answer? No, this is not the answer. This is only 1 unit of everything. So what are you supposed to do? Read the question again. See, remember the solve technique. The last part is read the question again and solve the question. So you're supposed to take 54 times what? Wow, so clever. Okay, we are looking for Mr. Yong. Oh, wait. Somebody said 4. Are you sure it's 4? What did we do to Mr. Yong? We changed it already. Very good. We times 12. Because Mr. Yong is no longer 3 over 4. We change it to 9 over 12, remember? So the answer is 648. Understand? Okay, so this is in P5, P6, right? These are the questions, right, that is always comes up, or it comes up during an exam. So it's not really a very complicated question. It's just a matter of how you interpret and how you apply the heuristic method to solve the question. Okay, yeah, move on. Okay, everybody okay? Do you want to take a picture of this question? If not, I move on. Anyway, you can watch the video. Yeah, you can listen to my watch my handsome face and listen to my voice again, the video. Hi. Okay, so let's move on. All right, so here comes the next question. Now, here is another topic. It's called volume. Let's read the question. So, cubical tank P has a length of 36 and is 7 over 9 filled with water. Okay, some of the water was poured into an empty rectangular fish tank. So the water from P went into the fish tank. Okay, so now can y'all tell me how to solve A? Can y'all try? Anybody can tell me how to do A? Y'all learn volume already, right? So how do you get the answer for A? Anybody knows? Anybody understand how to solve this question? Cannot. Okay. Somebody said 36 times 36 times 36. Okay. Oh, okay. I see somebody with what I mean, that did something exactly what I'm about to do. Then divide by 2. Okay, very good. Keep your answers coming. I like this a lot. Okay, so let me explain to you. The cubical tank, right, okay, has base height and length base height of 36. So you're supposed to take 36 times 36 times 36 times 7 over 9. Yeah, you realize, right, it's actually only one step. You just have to take 7 over 9 times 36 times 36 times 36. That's all. Yeah, you'll be surprised. These are easy questions, right? Students get confused because they do a lot of steps. I have students who did this. They take 36 times 7 over 9. Then after that, they take the answer, they times 36 times 36. But my students actually forgot to times 1 of the 36. So they got everything wrong. So I always tell them, you just write down first, then you do your steps separately. So like that, you don't get confused. Yes, normally these type of questions, right, you are allowed to use calculator. But there are cases where you're not allowed to. There are cases where this question, it comes out in the MCQ section, which is paper 1. There are cases. So you will really have to do it separately on the side. Yeah, but they will give you the 4 options to choose from now. So that's why they make it easier. There are times where you cannot use calculator. Yeah. But it's really not a very difficult question. Okay, okay, let's look at B. So what is the volume of water left in the tank of P? Give your answer in liters. Oh, very good. Somebody gave me the answer already. No. Why? Okay, watch this. So what you're supposed to do, right? Wait, I think you're correct. Sorry, you're correct. So what you're supposed to do is, right, you're supposed to find the tank of the fish tank first. Then after that, you subtract the amount of water, you will get this answer. You're correct. Okay, but don't forget, the thing that is tricky about this question, okay, is this. They forgot to convert to liters. Yes. You see, so tricky, right? So the thing is, right, students normally, right, they will just leave the answer like this. They forgot to convert because they never read. Okay. How did I get the first one? Okay, wait. How did I get the first one? The first one is from here. You are using the amount of water in P to go and subtract the fish tank. Yeah. Okay, because the whole fish tank was filled with water. So what you're using, right, this part here, this 36,288, right, is from this one. This one is 36288. Yeah. Okay. So you take this minus the volume of everything. So you get this. But this one won't give you the answer. A lot of students said they leave it here because they never read the question carefully. So remember, read and write is very important. So after that, right, and also learn to check. Okay. So after that, all you have to do just divide by 1,000. Then you have your answer already. No? Okay. Do you understand? Yes. Please analyze and annotate to help you keep track of the answers. Very important. Do you understand? So yeah, so I'm also sharing with you what I have experienced from my students. They will get questions wrong in what area, like they forgot the units, they never read properly. So these are things you all can learn. So I hope I will help you, okay, remember how to convert cm cube to ml is actually divided by 1,000. Okay, how about your type in the chat? How do you convert 1,000? Okay, convert for me. Okay, let's have a quick one. 12888, right? cm cube. Okay. Convert for me this convert this into ml. How many ml do you think this is? Oh, you're so fast. Okay, you're right. Okay, very good, very good. You guys are very smart. Correct. It's exactly the same. So in other words, right, cm cube can also be equals to ml. Yeah, it's the same. Very good. Okay, very good. Wow, very smart. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Oh, very good. All right, let's move on. Let's read the question first. See, always read, annotate, understand, analyze. Shop A and Shop B sells identical packets of sweets. Okay, now look at the first picture. So you have the same packet of sweet in both shops, right? But in first shop, okay. Now, besides, you always students will ask me, teacher, why I learn math? Teacher, math useful or not? Yes. So right, when you go shopping, right, you don't get cheated. So you go for the one that give you the best bargain. Okay, let's read the question. Which one do you think, which shop will you go to get the best bargain? Sometimes your mother like, okay, a girl or a boy, here is $10. You can use it to spend on anything you want. You wouldn't go to a shop that sells things that is too expensive, right? You want to make the best use of the $10 that you get for your mother, correct? So in this case, right, you're supposed to analyze the shops, right? And make sure you go to the best shop so you don't get cheated. Correct or not? Okay, let's read the first question. So it's $2.50 per packet and then 50 cents for every $10 spent. The second shop is $2.50 per packet also, but they give you a 10% discount. 10% discount. So we are moving on to this thing called percentage already. Okay, she wants to buy 20 packets. How much do you think she will save if she buy from shop A? So let's try. How much do you think? So the first thing you need to do, yes, very good. You go and multiply. Then after that, you go and divide by okay, now why do you think I divide by $10? Why do you think I take $50 divide $10? I'm actually finding this thing called number of set. Okay, this question we are using another heuristic called set approach. So one set, right, is actually $10. Because for every $10, I get 50 cents off. So what I do is, right, I find the total that I'm supposed to pay, then I take the amount of money, divide by $10. Because for every $10, I save 50 cents. So I will get 5 sets. So this 5 set, right, means that I get 5 times 57. I save 5 sets of 57 or 5 groups of 57. Yes, set approach is always tested on. Okay, so take note of this. So another for A, right, if you look carefully, actually this link, right, would save $2.50 from buying from shop A. Okay, so we get the first one, $2.50. Let's go on to the next question. How much must she pay if she buys from shop B? So same thing, you go and find how much she's supposed to pay. We already got the answer. We know it's 50 cents, right? $50, sorry. You know it's $50, right? So what is 10% of $50? You know, there's this very common thing. I asked my student before how to do this. My student just times 10%. It's wrong, you know. You actually supposed to times 90%. Okay. Now, I know a lot of school teachers will ask you to times 10%, then subtract. Okay, both method is correct. In fact, if you times 10%, some students forgot to subtract. Okay, I'm not saying which method is right or wrong. It's just that it depends on you. It really depends on you. So for shop B, right? Okay, you realize that she said she only have to spend 45. So how much did she save? Can you type in the chat? How much will she save by buying from shop B? How much will she save? Very good. I see. Save. How much will she save by buying in shop B? Oh, very good. Oh my gosh. All your answers are fantastic. Good job. Keep it coming. Very good. And a lot of you, in fact, almost everyone say $5. So it's so easy now, right? Once you get it. But the thing is, if you put $5, you will get it wrong. Because the question did not ask what she saved. The question actually asked what she pays. You see? So it's very different. So please read carefully. Okay. Which shop? Now, if you were buying sweets for yourself, you have $50. Which one will you buy? From shop A or shop B? Wow, so fast. Very good. Everybody start throwing me the answers in the chat. Wow, I love your answers. Keep it coming. Very good. And the answer is, wow, somebody even tell me she pays $2.50 less. I like your answer. Yes. Okay, so the answer is shop B, but you don't need to put $2.50 because they never ask you. Correct? Okay, anybody who's confused? Oh, okay. Fantastic. Good job. Okay, let's move on. Here we go. Okay. I know. Once the moment you see this slide, right? I know. Okay. Students always struggle with pattern. Yes, it's very common. So over in BlueTree, right? Yes, this is my favorite. Yeah, you'd be surprised. Teacher favorite love pattern. Because to me, right, once you get the concept, once you know the method, actually pattern is very easy one. Yeah, yes, exactly. You just need to spot it. Yeah. Pattern is about spotting the method, or in our lingo, we call it the formula. Okay, so let's do the first one first. So always start. Okay, let's read the question. Okay, let's fill up the blanks first, can? Yeah. Okay, very good. Okay, let's fill out the blanks first. Now, you will realize that the first one, right, you have a pattern of +4, +4, +4. Correct. So let's just fill up the first answer. You have 20, 16 + 4, 20, right? Everybody knows, right? So easy. But then, do you also spot something? Do you spot something else? Okay, ignore the middle unshaded first. Do you spot something? I said it just now at the beginning of the webinar. I said this. You spot the square numbers. So do you see that the number of circles, right, is actually square numbers? Do you see that it's actually square numbers? So what do I mean by square number? Teacher, I don't understand. What is square number? Numbers that are square? No. Square numbers is like 3 times 3, 4 times 4, 5 times 5, 6 times 6, 7 times 7. Okay? So after you identified the square numbers already, right? All you have to do now, you just subtract all. Once you subtract, you will get the unshaded. Can? Okay, let's go to the A question. What percentage of the circles, right, are shaded. So first, right, we always teach the student, please find the formula first. Let the pattern number with n. So what do I mean? Okay, I know a lot of you are not familiar. You're like, huh? What is n? So n is the pattern number. So you see like pattern 1, pattern 2, pattern 3, right? The n refers to any pattern. It can be pattern 1, pattern 200, pattern 1000, pattern 1 million also can. So what is the formula? Somebody already typed out the formula already. You're right. The formula is actually n times 4 or 4n also can. But since you haven't learned algebra yet, maybe you all don't know what is 4n. So just put n times 4. You just put it n times 4. Then do you also realize that you see that? You see? So for figure 5, right? Do you realize that it's actually just 5 times 4, 20? So it's the same thing, right? Yes, figure number also can. You understand? All right. So what percentage? Let's find figure 8 first. How many shaded circles are there in figure 8? So it's 8 times 4, right? Yes, correct. So, sorry, I forgot the second formula. The second formula, right, is the total, the shaded, the square numbers one. So 3 times 3, but the figure number is 1. So we take the figure number plus 2, then we square the whole thing. Okay? We take the figure number plus 2, we square the whole thing. So for figure 8, what do you think is the figure number is 8, right? So it's 8 plus 2, 10. So what is 10 times 10? What is 10 times 10? Can you type in the chat? Oh, wow, so fast. Very good. So in other words, in order to find percentage, okay, here comes the second part. Percentage, right, is always what you're looking for over the total. In this case, right, is total. If you read the question, of the circles is the total. So first you go and find the shaded. The shaded is 8 times 4 because figure number times 4. Then after that, the total number of circles, right, is 8 plus 2 square. So 10 times 10. So the fraction is, the percentage is, what is the percentage? You have 32 over 100 times, very good. You have 32%. So percentage, right, remember, it's always based on the question. Not every time is 100%. Like what I mean is not every time the denominator is 100. In this case, I made it easy for you all to understand. There are cases where the denominator could be different. Then you must really read the question, okay? Okay, the next one. Here's the second question. I have another pattern now, but I give you the total number of squares. So what do you think is the opposite of square numbers or square? It's square root, right? So what we do is we square root. Okay, we square root the 8,100. Then what do we have? 90, right? Then what we do in 90? We minus 2. So we are working backwards from what we did just now using our formula. So we found the pattern number. Now let's read the question. Now we are shaded. But do I really need, how do I find the shaded just now? So take note, not everything will require you to have a formula. So for this one, right, let's make it easy for you. Don't waste too much time on this type of question. Try to find the quickest and fastest way so you have more time to check all your other questions. Then after that, you just take 88 times 4. Remember that is the shaded formula that we got. So pattern number times 4. Then after that, we have 352. So we just subtract 8,100 minus 352. And we have 7,748. And that's the answer. Okay? Any question, everyone? Teacher Faith?
I'm here.
Okay, so I am done.
I see a lot of active participation from the group. Very, very good. Be it you are the student or the parent. I hope you are benefiting from this entire session. All right, we went through quite a couple of very important type of concepts, questions, and you can see that due to limited time, there is only like so few that we can do, right? There's a little bit that we can do. Like if you need to see like a array or a lot of patterns question, it comes with building up the skills over a period of time, like many months. So example, even if we were to conduct a workshop right now, 1 hour only on patterns, right? You still need that consistency, remembering and observing over months to like recognize it very quickly, like 4, 8, 12, 16. Oh, pattern number is 4 and 4 times figure number. Yeah. 5, 8, 13, 20. Okay, so that is quite hard to find a pattern number, but never mind. The moment I see 9, 16, 25, 36, it is square numbers. So we train our students to recognize square numbers, multiples, triangle numbers, cube numbers. Probably you hear some of them, some of you have never heard of them before, but all BlueTree students will definitely hear all three types: square, cube, and triangle numbers. Okay. All right. Parents, don't worry. If they are with us, they are taken care of. They'll be ready for PSLE. Okay. There's a lot of patterns out there. So don't let all the big names and what Fibonacci number or whatever, all those things that frighten you. Okay. Okay. So we know how to bring it down to a primary school level so that they can learn and absorb better. Okay. All right. Let's go on to the next slide. Yeah, so we have a lot of success stories about how children join us. As you can see, this kid actually joined us since primary 3, and we could see that he was very consistent with his results, even though he went on like P5. Everybody heard P5 is like a little deep, right? Things have changed lately, that you only do bite-sized tests. So you never get to experience what a full exam paper feels like until the end of the year. So this end of the year is going to be quite a test of stamina for a lot of kids. Parents, please take note. Okay, this is your children's first time doing a full paper like a P6 kid, a 1 hour paper before recess, take a break, and then come back and do a 1.5 hour paper. You can just give it a try at home and see what happens. Okay. Let's see. Next one. Yeah, so there's a lot of success stories. This is a child that was with me last year. Yeah, he went online with me since primary 4, then primary 5, then yeah, he went on to do primary 6 too. So this parent was like completely committed in this entire journey, and that helped the kid actually score well, okay, for a lot of exams. Let's go on. So what do we have in store for you, right? This one is even more amazing. This kid is a competitive swimmer, so she hardly come for even my online class. All she do is just watch videos. So when I'm teaching, no matter what time I teach, she will not be available because she swims from 7 to 10 o'clock or 7 to 9. Like, yeah, so she'll never make it for my class. But over the weekend, she's very disciplined. She'll pick up the videos and started watching the lessons and doing the task on her own. And then later on, the mom was like, testing her, pass her assessment book. And it was like, poof, how come she could do a lot of things on her own, right? You can see how I box it up. I think, yeah, there's a lot of support in the self-study. I just provide resources, and then, yeah, everything just work on the right track for her. Okay, let's go. Next one. There's so many math heuristics. I think I can't even list all of them. These are a couple of thank you. These are the really popular tested one. You can see P5 and P6. By then I put 2 or 3 ticks. Actually, your children learn it in P3 and P4. The simpler question, so simple that you didn't realize it fall into this category. The children just read and you could solve it because it's always a 1 step or 2 steps to the question. By the time you reach P5 and P6, we're talking about probably 5 steps to get to part A, and another 2-3 more steps to get to part B. So it requires a lot of identification of concepts. And big questions always have, what do you call that? Combo meal. 2 concepts in 1 question. Right. Yeah. And then 2 topics in 1 question. So a volume topic may have a percentage in there, and then solve with ratio approach. And then it could be a concept on that. I'm only talking about topics. Then the concept is on total stays the same. Yeah, something like that. Okay. That's torture. So MAP is coming up. What is MAP all about, right? MAP is our holiday program, our signature holiday program. It stands for Marks Accelerator Program. Yeah. So the usual fees is $150 per lesson of 2.5 hours. It's quite intense. We have gone through a almost 1 hour session with teacher Fabian. Just imagine you have 2.5 hours of this session. Wouldn't you walk away with like so much content, knowledge? You'll be so power packed. So for primary 5, there are 2 modules, module 1 and module 2. So that's 5 hours. So 5 hours of teacher Fabian. Whatever you experience tonight is like 5 hours of this, there will be like so much to learn. So the coming map, okay, we have it for the primary 3, primary 4, primary 5. We have it for math, science, English, and Chinese as well. Okay. So you can just go to our website and go and click on book for lessons or look for a special holiday program. You will be able to find the schedule that's put in place. That's like too many slots that I could not put on the slide here. All right, as you know that we have 8 different locations, so it'll be quite massive. So it'll be easier if you go to the website and have a look. And for this group of people, all right, all 60 of you that are in this room with us, you will get a special $10 off plus 10% off for 2 subjects or more. Okay. Who are the teachers taking? Just go into the I can't name all the teachers, but teacher Fabian is one of them. Teacher Sherlyn, teacher Lynn, teacher Wendy. There are a lot of teacher Graham, like a lot of math teachers on board. And then science teachers, we have a mix of like teacher Fabian, teacher Graham again, and some other teachers, teacher Sari. Who else have I missed out? So many of them. So yeah, just go in and click, and you can make more inquiries by dropping us an email as well. Okay. What did someone say? Oh yes, parents, you can also just drop your contact into the chat. I think my team is still around. They are able to take down your contacts if you have more queries to make. Okay. Yeah, I think we are not able to state all the teachers' names. So if you are making an inquiry, you can just drop us a message. They'll be able to provide you with more info. Coming up next week, we have one more short program for you. All right. So imagine today you already had a 1-hour class. It's free of charge. And then next week is masterclass. It's what 20? Oh, it's a very affordable fee. Just scan and then you get more details of it. You can purchase the math and science bundle. Next week, Thursday, Friday, 7:30 to 9. Okay, take a picture. Everyone just take a picture, scan, smile. Okay, yeah, so you can take a picture first and later tonight while you're scrolling at bed, right? Yeah, you can just have a look at what are the courses we have. So masterclass is 1.5 hours. Today you have a 1-hour session. So imagine math, you add on a 5-hour session, you have a 7-hour prep lesson for your child. Okay, your child will be super duper good and ready for the upcoming end of year exam. Now, the upcoming end of year exam is not about like, I need him to score well, I need her to score AL1. It's not just that. Because whatever you beef up this 1 month, all right, you prep your child for this 1-2 months, this knowledge is going to stay with you, all right, will stay with your child for the next year. Next year is an add-on of everything you have learned this year. But don't do it too last minute, because if you do it too last minute, sometimes it doesn't sink in deeper or internalize enough. Then by next year you might like, I teach before, I forgot. So need to recap and review and revise again. Of course, we have for P4 as well. Oh, P4 masterclass, we don't. We have it for P5 masterclass. Yeah, because there's a greater urgency for the P5. The content is heavy, it's scary. And so, yep, 1.5 hours only on masterclass. Hey, you can sit in with the children, parents. I mean, if you're able to come back home from work and be with your child, go ahead. All right, it's a webinar. We won't be able to see you. You can just sit next to your child, take notes, and we will share the video recording after that. Okay, let's see what's on the last slide. I forgot already. Yeah, join our discussion group. Okay. All right, so we have the secondary. If you have P6 kid going to secondary, you can join our secondary Facebook group. If you are not on our science discussion group yet, please join it. All right, BlueTree Science, and the other one is the BlueTree Math. So they'll be sharing on some video solution, reels, a lot of discussion, questions that parents can solve, and everyone just come on board and help one another. YouTube, yeah, I think next slide, I think we have, yeah, our social media. Go to our YouTube, our Instagram. Okay, I think we have way more than 139 subscribers now. This is just an old picture placed in here. Definitely more than 22 videos. a lot more videos. So you just go into YouTube, right, and you search BlueTree. All right, there will be this series say that learn science with BlueTree, and then the other one is learn math with BlueTree series, and you're gonna see like a lot of popular questions being put in there. So there are different modes of learning. All right, have proper resources, notes, and stuff. And sometimes you can also learn via just watching a video as well. But don't forget, math is not by watching only. Must pick up the pen and paper and write. Correct, Fabian? What's your advice to your students to prepare for exams?
Like what you said, so actually you can watch the video, like what I advise some of my students, watch the video and then pause and then do the question and then continue the video. So you can compare your steps with the video so that you know you're on the right track. If not, right, you can actually find out what are you doing wrong. Then you can learn from your mistake.
Yeah. Okay, I have one more common question from parents. What should I do now? Should I go and buy the school exam papers and make him do 10 school papers now? Or can I just do your BlueTree worksheet? Enough or not? Teacher Fabian, my son has been with you for so long. So if I just do BlueTree worksheet, is it okay? They always ask this, right?
Actually can. Actually depends. It all depends on the area that your child is within. I mean, BlueTree, right, worksheets, we have different type. You can do the topic focus, the heuristic, or the concept focus, which is the heuristic. So it depends on the area. So I always feel that for students, right, it depends on which area you are in. So you're, let's say, way before exam, let's say you're in January or February, right, way before exam, then it's always too good for the topical focus and the concept focus. But if you're very close to exam, right, then it's revision paper. So it's different.
So then again, it's also a balance. If your child had not been practicing the heuristic focus, not revising and not remembering or not knowing any of those skill set over this period of time, and suddenly you just throw one exam papers, I think it will still be a struggle because every question also like brand new, you see. Yeah, so consistency is very important. It's okay to revisit old things. I strongly recommend visit old things. But if your child is already scoring 95 and above, go ahead and print papers. Yeah, 95% and above, right? You can print as many papers as you can, as you want, because they like challenges and they like to do more and more and more. And of course, please go for quality work rather than quantity work. Quality very important. Okay, all right. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Thank you. Please remember to like and share.